Hello, everyone, and happy Thursday. Welcome to UpNorthLive Unscripted. I'm Allie Baxter, and I'm in for Maya Engel today. She's taking some much-deserved vacation time, and she has a fun weekend ahead of her, and hopefully getting out and enjoying some weather as well. But for a look at across the area as far as how that weather is going to be this weekend, I'm going to go ahead and bring in our meteorologist, Joe Charlevoix. Looks like he is getting ready. So I'm going to go ahead and add him to the stage here.
Hi.
Hi, Joe.
It worked.
It did work. So this is obviously this is my first time doing this. Maya is kind of the expert on all things unscripted, and Joe as well, because he is here every day. But Joe said, you know what? We're going to have fun today. If mistakes happen, mistakes happen. But I've got Joe, so no mistakes are going to happen.
Yeah, it's interesting evening. We heard it here in the studio, the heavy rain coming down. We're dealing with some showers tonight, Allie, but we'll have that tonight. Same thing tomorrow, kind of Saturday, Sunday. So a little bit of a wet stretch coming up here. I'll take a look. I'll show you a little radar, a little later, some of the radar images that we have, and kind of when some of this rain's going to come to an end. We'll take a little look at that a little later.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Joe, for that preview. I'm going to go ahead and pull up our question of the day here. And so our question of the day is, do you prefer to drink Michigan-made beer over national brands? So this was inspired by our morning live shot this morning. This morning, our morning reporter, Madison Stoddard, she went up to the Petoskey area and she got to preview a new brewery that's opening. And we will actually be talking to one of those owners a little bit later. So this is our question of the day. Do you prefer to drink Michigan-made beer over national brands? So far we've got 53% say Michigan-made beer. We want to keep it local. There is 33% that say national brands, which I understand everyone's got their favorite, right? And you want to be able to find it anywhere. And then 14% say, I don't drink. So we're going to look at some comments real quick. So we do post these on Facebook as well, if you do want to join the conversation. So Jamie says, love me some Michigan beer. And she even put a little beer emoji on there with a pink heart. Tom said no. And then Michael saying local craft beer is so much better than big brands, in my opinion. And then we've got someone who said, oh, they love Wisconsin beer. Christopher, he is saying no. Mike says, yes, I like the variety. And we do have so many options here in Northern Michigan as well. And then Rob said 100% Michigan-made beers. Clark said, absolutely. And then Christopher, he got very specific. He said, I frequently drink Sheboygan Blood Orange Honey, delicious beer. Oh, and then Lisa, I'm seeing her comment now as well. She said, absolutely shorts. So if you do want to go ahead and vote on our question of the day, the QR code is right there. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and I'd like to see how many people have voted. So we've got the poll right here. Do you prefer to drink Michigan-made beer over national brands? And it looks like we have 174 votes so far. So I'm going to go ahead and bring back that QR code. And so if you would like to go ahead and vote, the QR code is right there. But real quick, we are actually going to shift gears. We are going to talk about our main story of the night. So I'm going to take down the question of the day. So one of our main stories of the night, our anchor Mark Shillette worked on this. And today he talked about proposed legislation for a unified septic system. So actually, I didn't even know this. Michigan is one of the only states that has no unified septic system. It's mostly done by townships or different municipalities. And so what you deal with is, Mark actually said, over 1 million different systems. So there is a push to have one unified system. And he talked to some lawmakers and some local organizations about why this may actually be more of a challenge to do. So I'm going to go ahead and play Mark's story.
We have the necessary laws in place when it comes to controlling and managing our septic systems here in Michigan.
Well, I would say no.
Make no mistake, when it comes to our septic systems, Michigan does have some rules in place, but the problem is, in Liz Kirkwood's eyes and many others,
We have this incredibly complicated patchwork of governance. We've got 83 counties. We've got 1,300 townships.
And right now, they all seem to have their own rules or none at all when it comes to inspecting the 1.3 million backyard septic systems in our state.
We do not have these uniform standards for inspecting, repairing, maintaining, and replacing these systems.
That might not be a problem if all those septic systems were working as intended. The problem is the average age of a septic system in our state is 28 years old. And so
Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy estimates that over 330,000 of these septic systems are leaking.
to address leaky septics and the lack of inspection and uniform rules, a group of lawmakers in Lansing has introduced twin bills in the state House and Senate.
Michigan is the only state in the United States without a uniform septic code.
These would change that, including adding a requirement that local health departments oversee inspections of every septic system in the state on a 5-year basis. It's protecting our lakes and rivers and our drinking water, and State Representative John Roth doesn't have an issue with that.
That's not even the issue at all. We all want that. It's a matter, how do we do this right?
What Representative Roth and others have an issue with is the execution of all those inspections.
It's unworkable. Our health department can't find enough inspectors to do this. The cost would be overwhelming to our community health clinics.
Health departments, many of which are short-staffed and operating under tight budgets, would be required to first identify who has a septic system and then either conduct an inspection or pay someone to do it.
Especially our rural health departments, that's just not going to work. They don't have the kind of funds they need to make this happen. So we would have to be looking at the legislature for us for possible appropriations to help them make it work.
So while many support the idea of uniform statewide rules and addressing those septic systems that aren't making the grade, they believe work needs to be done on this to make sure our local health departments aren't bearing the brunt of the load.
That is very accurate. Again, I think they should be inspected. I think we have to make sure that everybody's doing it right and that we're not having leaky septic systems into our water system. But just enacting it right so that it's workable is the most important point.
And that story is posted on our website. So if you would like to learn more about it, we have that story up on our website. That's UpNorthLive.com. And once again, I'm going to bring up our question of the day. All right, let's see. I don't want it to be totally full screen. Let's see. All right, there I am. So once again, do you prefer to drink Michigan-made beer over national brands? Like I said, this was inspired a little bit by our morning live shot this morning. Our morning reporter, Madison, she went over to Elder Piper Beer, and this is one of the new breweries in Petoskey, and they're doing some pretty creative things. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in Ava. She is one of the owners. She is going to join us here, and I'm going to go ahead and take our question of the day away real quick because Ava has a really cool background behind her. Ava, you were telling me a little bit beforehand. Where are you right now?
Hi there. Yes, I am back in our production area since our tap room is hopping right now. I needed a little quieter space to chat with you. So I'm here with our fermentation tanks in the background.
Well, that's awesome. And you're saying business is booming because you had to find a quiet space to be.
Yeah, it's a lovely evening here in Petoskey, and we have a great neighborhood who love to come out and support us with a pint.
And so, Ava, you are a trooper because not only are you doing this interview with us at 6:30 p.m., you are also live with Madison this morning at 6:30 a.m. So thank you so much for joining us and live all day today. And I know maybe if people were watching earlier at 6:30 a.m. this morning, they got to get a little bit more background. But for those of us who maybe don't wake up quite as early, tell me a little bit about the inspiration. Why come here to Petoskey to open this?
Absolutely. Petoskey is my hometown. I am a proud Michigander. While I've spent most of my career, decades-long career in craft beer out of state, when it came time to explore what we could do with our own brand and our own brewery, I couldn't think of a better state to bring it home to. And Petoskey, my hometown, has been a wonderful place to start our business.
And like I was saying earlier, Northern Michigan is no stranger to craft breweries. We have so many amazing options here. What sets you guys apart?
Sure. I think the thing that I'm most excited about at Elder Piper is the way in which we're bringing that perspective gained from our decades of experience in craft beer outside of the state home to Northern Michigan, but also conversely celebrating the beauty and the bounty that we have up here with the rest of the world.
That's awesome. And so I want to know a little bit more about the name. What is Elder Piper?
Elder Piper is the name of one of our brewer and my business partner and my husband. One of the name of one of his ancestors from the 1800s, and we're in my hometown. There's so much of my story, my history in this brand and the products we make. And as the brewer, we really wanted to bring his family and his stories in a big way. So the name felt like a great place for that to be.
So do you have a favorite that you've created so far?
Ooh, favorite.
Hard to narrow it down, right?
We make excellent beers and some really exciting ciders. And I think the one that's most near and dear to my heart is on its last keg. That is our Pillows and Blankets Harvest Cider. This is a cider that we produce all from apples grown on my family's farm up in Bliss, Michigan. So it is truly a taste of the harvest and a taste of place.
I love that. And it's also like a special connection for you as well, using this produce that is on your family land.
One of the reasons we wanted to return to Northern Michigan was the bounty and agricultural wealth we have up here. We have excellent hop growers. We have great apples. We're using our local cherries from King Orchards in our tart cherry wheat beer. So there's just a bounty to explore up here.
And real quick before we let you go, Ava, I do want to bring back up our question of the day because I would love to know your thoughts on it. I'm going to go ahead and change our screen here. And so I know you've heard me say it probably a million times already during this broadcast, but do you prefer to drink Michigan-made beer over national brands? Ava, what are your thoughts?
Well, I'm obviously pretty biased. As someone who went away and came back home to Northern Michigan, I am so excited to explore the way in which craft beer has changed in Northern Michigan and evolved, and excited to contribute to that Northern Michigan flavor.
Absolutely. Well, hey, Ava, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to go ahead and let you go. I know you probably have to get back to the tasting room. It sounds like you guys are super busy, but thank you so much for joining us today. Not just once, but twice.
Thanks for the opportunity. Cheers.
All right, so I am going to go ahead and I'm going to leave up our question of the day during our commercial break for those of you who are watching online. And again, that is, do you prefer to drink Michigan-made beer over national brands? And when we come back, we are going to get into some weather with Joe. He's going to let us know what the weekend's looking like. Welcome back to Up North Live Unscripted. We're going to go ahead and check in with Joe now, everyone's favorite weatherman, for some weekend weather. I'm going to go ahead and add Joe to the stage here. Hi, Joe. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, how have you been since I last saw you?
You know what? I think my heart rate's gone down a little bit. I think, we've got this. We've gotten the flow of things, but I'm really happy to see you again.
Well, thanks. Good to see you again, too. It's a little wet. Although I'm looking at our camera right now, I'll show you in a minute, Allie. It's sunny up at the Mackinac Bridge right now. So, there's a little bit of sun
Pretty
trying to peek.
interesting, considering we've seen a lot of clouds, especially earlier. I feel like during our 5 p.m., we were doing some live looks across northern Michigan, and it was
Yep.
a way different story than the sunshine.
It is, and it's one of those days where you're getting a little sun here and there, but in between you get these showers passing through, and we're going to kind of see the same thing, I think, tomorrow. One thing I do want to show you, I'm going to share our screen here. Let me know if you can see that, Allie. I'm going to go to our drone video.
Yes, I've got it. I'm going to go ahead and add it.
Got it?
Got it.
Yeah, so this is earlier today. Now, we had some sun earlier. Look at all the people out there. That's at the Grand Traverse Lighthouse. That's at the tip of Leelanau County near Northport. And that's the view there today. And folks out enjoying the day. I mean, earlier on, it was nice. We had some sunshine. Look at the waves there rippling across the water. That was earlier. I mentioned that sunshine at the Mackinac Bridge, and there it is. So you see in the upper left corner, Mackinac City right now. Yeah, some sun. You see the shadows there. Petoskey's pretty cloudy. Houghton Lake, rather overcast. And Cadillac, you've had a few showers. Pretty cloudy there. Let's start off with just the rain. And look at radar. And that's the look across the Great Lakes tonight. You can see all these showers. And after we started the day with a little bit of sunshine earlier, these are the showers that are working through. I'll zoom in. There's one little lone thunderstorm, and it's right there. So if you're in Fife Lake, probably hearing a little bit of thunder there, a couple lightning strikes right over Fife Lake. That is about it for any thunder out there, but we will continue to see some of these showers passing through here over the next couple of hours, and really for the next few days as well. I'll show you that as we take a look at Stormcast. So future radar, what's going to happen going forward. There are the showers now. And there we are tomorrow morning. Still pretty cloudy, Allie. You see that 8, 9 o'clock. Off and on showers through Friday afternoon. Watch Friday night. We kind of get a little break right there into Saturday morning. And then watch Saturday. You might start with some sun. But boy, it looks increasingly wet Saturday afternoon and evening. And we might be talking more about it, more of a steadier rain Saturday afternoon and evening coming in. So I point that out. I'm sure a lot of folks have plans for the weekend. Here's our thoughts on that. Saturday, rain, especially in the afternoon, mid and upper 60s. And then Sunday, low and mid 60s, chance for a few passing showers. And there's the extended forecast. Kind of the tale of two different halves. Friday through Sunday, pretty wet at times, showers, especially Saturday afternoon, cool. But then Monday, Tuesday, we warm up, some sunshine, and then, we get back into the 70s next week. And even beyond Thursday, it looks like we're going to see a bit of a warm-up coming in. So I think the name of the game is going to be those showers, kind of dodging those the next few days, and, temperatures a little bit below normal.
Right. So definitely be prepared no matter where you go, right? Because that rain could come at any second.
Yeah. Yep. It's just those hit and miss showers for sure. Good advice, Allie.
Well, Joe, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and bring back up our question of the day. For those of you who are watching online, you'll be able to see our question of the day. So I'm going to go ahead and add that back to the screen here. And we're going to take a quick break. But when we come back, our sports director, Harrison Beebe, is going to be checking in live with us. He's at the Pittsburghers game right now. Hopefully he's staying dry. So we will check in with Harrison. You are watching Up North Live Unscripted. Welcome back to Up North Live Unscripted. We are going to go ahead now and check in with our sports director, Harrison Beebe. It looks like he's staying dry. He's at the Pittsburgh's game. I'm going to go ahead and add in Harrison. Harrison, I see you're in the car right now. Are you avoiding some rain?
No, actually, it's pretty dry right now. Yeah, you could say I'm pretty much anywhere in the car, but yes, I assure everyone I am in the parking lot, and it's getting a decent amount filled here for all the rain we just had come through Traverse City about an hour ago. Not even. I know you were asking me, hey, are you still going to that game? And at last I checked with the Pittsburgh people, this game's going on. The great part about Turtle Creek Stadium, if you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't been here, they have a nice turf surface that really clears up. Normally a baseball field, water is going to destroy that within a matter of minutes, depending on how heavy the rainstorm is. But the way these turf fields work, it's built for infiltration. They and irrigation. They want to clear all that stuff out, and that's the setup they have here. So as far as I know, game's going to be going on as normal. Joe mentioned there might be some few rain showers sprinkling in, but as long as they avoid any lightning in the area, should be good to go. And Allie, the Pittsburghers really want to play these home games because they're 5-0 so far this season at home. They're 7-2 overall, but 5-0 overall at Turtle Creek Stadium.
That's a strong start for sure. And it sounds like they're pretty prepared to play this game tonight. What are you anticipating? Is this going to be a pretty challenging matchup for them?
Well, Lakeshore is here for a second game. They beat them last night, so they've definitely had a win already over them, and with an impressive start to the year, they're out in the lead in the division. So the team mentioned a few weeks ago when I went to media day that, and they've done this the past few years, the Northwoods League does this first half league champion title that automatically locks up a playoff spot. All you have to do is lead the division at the halfway point of the season, which is like late June, early July. And so they're already well on their way to doing that, and that allows the second half for them to kind of tinker with some stuff because they know they've already got that playoff spot guaranteed. So I know, especially in this first half, they are motivated to get those W's. So I expect them to do more of the same tonight, and we'll get you those highlights tonight during Sports at 11.
Well, perfect, Harrison. Thanks so much for checking in with us. We will let you get back to the game, and we look forward to those highlights as well. I'm going to go ahead and take Harrison away, and I'm going to bring back up our question of the day as we go into one more break here. So again, our question of the day: do you prefer to drink Michigan-made beer over national brands? So scan that QR code if you'd like to join the conversation. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Up North Live Unscripted. We are going to check in one more time on our question of the day. And so our question of the day is, do you prefer to drink Michigan-made beer over national brands? We did have one more comment that was checking in, and someone said, I think Black Rocks is the best beer in Michigan. So I would say I definitely agree with all the Michigan-made beer voters. I love a local craft brew or a cider or a sour. There's just so many options that we have up here in Northern Michigan. So I'm going to go ahead and put back up our question of the day full screen. But for more news, sports, and weather, you can join us on Up North Live News at 11 tonight. And we'll see you back here for tomorrow for Up North Live Unscripted.